Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out of this world story from our space. My cheating wife accidentally sent me screenshots of her conversation with the affair partner. Caught my wife cheating today. Where do I go from here? Been married 11 years, have a 4-year-old daughter together. I've been suspicious for the last few weeks and actually confronted her about it last week as she was spending a lot of time on her phone. She said she was talking to her family and been busy at work, and for a little bit, the situation seemed to improve. The other day, I noticed that photo partner sharing was turned off. I asked her about it, and she said she turned it off by mistake and turned it back on. Today, I received a notification of a new photo. Went to check, and it was a screenshot of some romantic messages between her and a guy. I called her and said, "I think you've saved a photo down by mistake. Is there anything you want to tell me?" And she hung up. I saved the photo down and sent to her asking what was going on. She said the guy sought her out on LinkedIn and has been chasing her for some time and forced her to say those things. I obviously don't really buy that and tried to discuss further, as she says she's super busy at work and can't talk. Did a back and forth. I told her to block this dude or we're done. She says she's blocked him, but keeps going on about how busy she is with work and can't talk any further. Well, that was today, the day I found out. I'm on my way home and take my daughter to a swimming lesson as I type this, and I haven't seen my wife since. I don't really know where to go from here. I caught my wife out, and she isn't particularly apologetic or accepting any responsibility for it. Thoughts? Edit. Well, an update. My wife was kind enough to tell me that the guy is a wealthy businessman and he wants her to divorce so they can marry. She said it in a way that I'm supposed to care about this guy's feelings and what he wants. My wife wants to take my daughter and I don't have to worry about her anymore. I have nothing. I guess this is it. Edit 2. I had a chat with her. She told me that she believes she had a relationship with this guy in a past life. I feel like I stepped into another dimension. This is nuts. She's actually trying to get me to fight for her love. I told her he needs to be gone or I'm moving on. She gave me a whole bunch of nonsense, so I think I'll be seeing a lawyer tomorrow. First response from Daloco6913. This is a bad day for you, and I am so sorry you have to deal with this rubbish. Has she become distant? Has there been a sharp decline in intimacy? By this I mean the little touches or cuddling. Has she become short and almost rude with you, as if you irritate her? Has she been secretive with her phone, hiding it a bit more, or not being on it around you? Has she been texting more, especially later at night? Chat with her and see if she remains indifferent. Nobody forces anyone to cheat. She made choices, but it might be as she says. Though you are right, her response is quite unsettling. Trust your gut. If she is not willing to discuss or take responsibility, there are a few things that might shake her up. See a lawyer and file for divorce. You can stop the process at any time. Separate finances. Get tested for STDs. Let her see the paperwork of your research. Take your ring off until she comes clean. Sleep separately. Get into therapy soon. This will affect you. She needs to provide a full timeline. She has to take full responsibility. She has to come up with the process of safeguards for the marriage. It might be as she says, so first wait for her to actually talk to you. Blocking him will not stop her from unblocking him at will, so listen to her plan. Do not get caught in the cycle of trying to do the pick-me dance. It will do your child no good to be in a home where her father is being destroyed by your wife being indifferent, and you suffering the emotional destruction. Trust, but verify. Jay War says, the fact that she's unapologetic says it all. Hate to say it, but she's done with you, man. Use this opportunity to divorce her. Mr. Big Bull 01 says, hi. Yeah, here's some thoughts. Go see a lawyer and find out what divorce looks like for you. Do not let her know you wet. Act indifferent to her. Only talk when it is really necessary, like about your daughter. Act normal when daughter is present. Give your wife the shortest answer possible when you really need to answer the question. Start splitting finances. Let her pay for her own stuff. Have your salary on your own account. Only pay for half of all joint things, like the house and food, etc. Act really indifferent. Like, do not ask her how her day was. Do not bring this affair up. When she asks how your day was, do not answer. If you go out and she asks where you're going, do not answer. Yes, this is hard and cold, but like you stated, she is not remorseful, so this marriage is beyond saving. Might as well act on it. You know her excuse is completely BS. She could have blocked him, or reported him, or just delete the messages, or just ignore them. He really did not force her to send those messages. You know that. When the papers are ready, have her served at work, with the message that if she needs to speak to you, she can do it via your lawyer. Communication regarding your daughter will be done via a coherent app. From then on, there will be no more face-to-face communications. Oh yeah, one more thing. Do not move out of the house. Take care. My wife is having an emotional affair with her ex. I think it's about to turn physical tomorrow. Shall I stop her or let it play out? So I, 36 male, I've been married to her, 37 female, for 6 years now. We have a 2-year-old together who was born 3 months before COVID began ravaging the world. As a result, we both have been stuck home for the most part of the last 2 years. Although we have to live in nanny for our daughter, it has taken a toll on both of us. About 6 months after our daughter was born, my wife got back in touch with her ex from college. At first it was innocent enough, as he had started a venture of his own and wanted to hire my wife. My wife declined, but they kept in contact after that. Eventually it turned into phone calls every other day and daily messaging. I suspected something, but as we were both stuck at home, I didn't take it much seriously. But for the past 2 months, her behavior has changed drastically, spending too much time on her phone, turning the screen away from me, absolutely no interest in spending any time together with me, and her demeanor changed whenever he called, which is daily now. So yesterday night, I finally looked through her phone when she was sleeping. The password is our daughter's name, and it was heartbreaking. Thousands of messages reminiscing about their dating period, their future plans and escapades, my wife's dreams, desires, and fears, which even I didn't have any idea about, and how they would have made a great team if they stayed together. Now I should make one thing clear. From my wife's end, it was a deeply emotional connection, but from his end, he always tried to turn it sexual, and although she didn't reciprocate much, she never shut it down. For example, he was joking about their past sexual encounters and wondering if she is still as vibrant, that people should shower together to beat COVID, how he would love to mud wrestle my wife, how new mother's breast size interests him greatly, and he wanted to hold them in his hands to see just how different they are from normal breasts and things like that. My wife never actually engaged with him in an overtly sexual manner, but also she never asked him to stop or shut it down. And the last message informed her that he will be in our city on Saturday for a few hours in the afternoon. Well, I didn't confront my wife as I didn't know how to bring it up to her. But just an hour ago, she informed me that she will be going out tomorrow afternoon to see an old friend for a few hours, and I should be home to take care of our daughter. At the time, she told me, and what I saw in the messages was identical. I don't know what to do here, folks. My brain has shut down. I can't ask her not to go out, as they never say in the messages about sex, but all the indications are there. Please advise me on how to approach this. My family is about to disintegrate, and I don't know how to stop it. Any advice would be appreciated. Edit, update. I decided to let it play out. If she goes tomorrow, then we are done. But if she stays home, then I will tell her that I read her messages and if she wants to stay in marriage or separate. I guess now it depends totally on her actions. I'm hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Edit 2. A lot of you are asking me to confront her, but for what? Staying with me just because we have a kid, or own a house, or signed a marriage certificate? Life is messy and people sometimes fall out of love. It's not her fault. You can't control feelings. She has to choose me on her own accord, without me trying to influence her decision. Hopefully, she stays home tomorrow and rebuild our family, or she goes and we separate but become awesome co-parents. I just don't want to force her hand just because we have shared history. She has to actively choose me. Anything else makes for a bad marriage. Cosmo Boy thinks, that's a real positive take you have there. I'd say the trust is completely broken already, and I'd never be able to see her the same. B-Boy99 says, lawyer up, bud, and take screenshots of the text. Zuliang X says, she made an active decision to continue the conversation even though it was inappropriate at times. The signs are there. She's going to be sorry for being caught cheating, not for cheating on you. Update. I will make a detailed update in a day or two because I have a lot to discuss with my wife, but I wanted to make a small one right now. Anyways, after making the last update, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, she was not on the bed. So I panicked a little, but then I saw her in the kitchen. She was behaving normally, like every day. After having breakfast, she went to bathe, and I realized the time has come for her to leave, and to be honest, I almost had a panic attack, but I checked myself. I realized that if I stayed in the house, then I will either have a massive panic attack, or I will break down and cry hysterically. So I took my daughter and went down to take a walk. I was walking around our parking area, where both our cars are parked. I wanted to see her leave, I guess. But when she didn't come down in 30 minutes, I went up, and she was sitting on a sofa ready to go out. Also, she had a small bag by her side. And I won't lie, at that very moment, my heart was in my mouth. I thought she is somehow planning an overnight stay with him. I was ready to leave my body at that point. Then she looked at me and said, get ready, or it will get crowded there. And even though I was so stressed, my first thought was, what is she actually planning to do in his room that she is asking me to come, or it will get crowded? What activities are going to take place there? The human mind is so weird. Like, why did this thought enter into my mind at this stressful time? Anyways, she asked me again to hurry up, and then it suddenly hit me. She's asking me to get ready because we had promised to take our daughter to the zoo on Saturday. And then I realized, okay, the bag she has with her has the essential supplies for our daughter. And suddenly, it felt as if a lump in my throat has just dissolved. I felt so free and happy, and I kissed my wife on the cheeks. It felt so good I can't describe in words, and then got ready to go. I still didn't confront her. At that point, I just wanted to get out of the house with her and our daughter. It was only when we were on the way that I told her, I went through your phone and read your messages with your ex, and I thought you would go see him today. But since you chose this down your own without me asking you to, let's first enjoy our day out with our daughter, and then we will talk in detail once we get back. And I'm not mad, so let's try to enjoy because it's the favorite visiting place for our daughter. She was very shocked and went very quiet, but eventually our daughter being there helped us a lot. Once we reached, I told my wife that we have a lot of work to do once we get back, but for now, try to forget about it and have fun. I also took her hand in mine while walking. I was just feeling so happy, guys. She was not going to meet him in person, thank God. Anyways, we're home now and she is putting our daughter to bed while I make this post. So that was the update. I received a lot of feedback, so thank you guys. But I think we have a very high chance of succeeding as a couple because when push comes to shove, she was not going to meet him physically. She showed me the messages she had sent him at 7:25 a.m. in the morning where she told him that she was not coming to see him. So I'm pretty satisfied by the outcome, and now begins the difficult task to take apart our relationship during the last 2 years in order to find the exact reason why we reached to this place. It will be a long journey, but I am very optimistic. Sorry for any spelling or grammatical mistakes. I'm just very happy right now. Ball hang low reacts. First of all, I'm starting to think this is all made up now. Secondly, if you jump to all kinds of assumptions without letting her explain herself, just because she's not seeing him today doesn't mean she's not seeing him another. Also, where the hell does this zoo appointment come from? Sorry, but I call BS on this story. Moving on. Girlfriend of 7 years cheated on me. We were together for 7 years, aged 18 to 25. 2 months ago, she moved to London for university. About a month ago, she started posting images with a guy that were too close for comfort. I spoke to her about it, and she dismissed it completely. It led to a fight, and I hung up. I called her back 30 minutes later after calming down, and the guy was at her place. I flipped and hung up again. The next day, she texted me and wanted to talk. We talked and sorted things out. We ended things when she told me she had kissed the guy that same night we fought. This was 2 weeks later and another argument. I met her a few days ago, which is when she told me the whole truth. She kissed the guy that night, she posted the picture. She screwed him the night we fought over it, and he was at her place. She kept on the affair with him, screwing him at every chance she got, kept posting pictures in the way that I don't see. Mutual friend showed me, for the next few weeks while working on mine and her relationship for the next 2 weeks. She also bragged to her friends how she's posting it in a way that I don't get to see the pictures. She finally ended things with me by trickle-truthing and saying they just kissed once, 2 weeks after our fight, on the night of her 7-year anniversary. I thought that the one kiss she said that happened was a moment of weakness after an ugly argument, but the truth of it shocked me to the core. I've been with her for 7 years, never thought she would be capable of something like this. It took this person a few days of knowing someone to end a 7-year-long relationship with me, lie, cheat and manipulate me, string me along, and break my trust in people and cut my heart out. They give a reading, just some random thoughts in my head. Still trying to process all this. Abbreviations old 5833 thinks, good riddance. But now it's time to prepare yourself for what could happen next, which is to dismiss her entirely if she comes crawling back. Make yourself rigid with that decision. Fragrant Spray chimes in. When their college romance ends, she'll reach back out to you. Don't answer her calls or texts. Move on with your life and never let her back in. Not only was she betraying you, she was celebrating her betrayal. A person who would do that isn't worth your time. Mikaz5 says, 7 years. Seems like she was pretty good in acting then. What a great person with a great sense of respect. I'm so sorry for you and I imagine you guessed it, but she didn't love you. Not even as a friend because you don't betray someone like this after 7 years. It's that or she has no respect for anyone. Really sorry for you, but I think it's best you know and you're not in this relationship anymore now than later. I just wonder, if she does this all of a sudden after 7 years, are you sure it didn't happen already before? No red flags over these past years? Good luck.